Welcome to Pitch the Press of the Sports Betting Show, brought to you by a real statistics professor. We are back with some baseball picks for you after quite the long time off. Going to just give you a couple picks here. Trying to keep it short and simple, but hopefully we can keep it consistent, which I know will be a huge relief for many of you if we're able to do that. I'll talk more about that at the end of the show, but I don't want to waste anyone's time. If you're short on time, I want to respect that. Couple quick reminders here. First off, when we showed this on the college football slide, just as a reminder, real quick, who this can benefit, right? If you're tired of reloading your betting accounts, if you don't know how to actually make more when you win than you lose when you lose, because we're all going to win a lot of bets, we're all going to lose a lot of bets, but how do you get the plus to be more than the minus? And that's what we are able to do here with both the right mindset and the right model. All models are wrong. Some models are useful. We have a very useful model here, but it's a lot of the mindset too. That sharp betting community that you can be a part of via our Discord, that can help as well, because the mindset matters. We've got to stop chasing those 7-leg parlays. It's fun if we just put $1 or $2 on it, sure, but that's not going to be how we're going to make our money. And so how do we do that here? Sideline is a player-based model that really matters, especially here with September call-ups, with all the injuries, of course, that we have. And it takes into account recent form as well. It's not going to ignore previous year's data or previous, earlier in the season's data. But if you're seeing the ball a little bit better right now, the model's going to lean a little bit more that way. That matters. As you look at the slides here, 100 is average, higher equals more scoring. One game is random. We're going to talk about 2 games here. I have no idea what's going to happen. The other day, the Mariners scored like 18 runs in the early Sunday game. Like, weird things happen, right? And that's why we say even sharp plays are going to lose half the time, right? Or almost half the time, depending on your odds. And that's normal. This isn't about locks. There's no such thing as that. It's about price and long-term value. And that's how you win more when you win than you lose when you lose. If you're interested in doing that, you can get every A-grade model play, all of the great info from the model on every single game, that Discord chat with experts on every sport over on Patreon. That link is in the show description. You can follow us for free over there and get another free pick. I put daily almost every day, most every day. And if you're looking for all of it, join the honor roll. The membership costs less than the price of a nice lunch. Quick recap, because it's been a while. Previous seasons have gone good to great. 23, not the best season, only up 4 units after such a great 2022. A small bounce back last year and a bigger bounce back this year. We're recommending to play A grades and B grades. And if you're able to do that, you've been making a lot of money with us so far throughout this summer. Hopefully we can continue that into September and in the playoffs. We're going to start off with Astros and the Blue Jays. Jason Alexander and Jose Barrios are going to square off. Folks, this one's fairly simple to me. When you talk about September baseball, you have to analyze a couple things, right? Who's trying, who's not, who's tanked, who has, that sort of thing. Right now, there's only a couple teams that I think are in firm tank mode that I'm really worried about. Obviously, that wouldn't be either one of these teams. And so then you start looking at how everything matches up. These offenses are pretty similar. The pitchers are pretty similar. The bullpens are pretty similar. Sure, the game's in Toronto, but we're able to get the Astros here at plus 130. And that makes that some value. As you can see, the model says the price should be plus 123. So we've got 7 cents of value there. Now, 7 cents doesn't mean a whole lot out on the, but the closer you get to even money, that matters in terms of just long-term value. And so small long-term value here on the Astros, but I think it's worth a shot here taking them as the dog. We had the Blue Jays last night in a game that looked like they weren't going to be able to get it done, and then they came back, got us the win in extra innings. Models flipped today on the Astros, and I don't see any reason why it should lean one way or the other. This just feels like 2 teams who want to win, 2 pitchers who might have a good night and might not. Either one of these or both of these guys could get shelled, and it wouldn't shock me. Either one of them could have a good game. They've had some good games, and it wouldn't shock me, but neither one is that dominant ace you trust. Neither one's someone who's truly terrible that you want to fade. Again, offenses are good. Bullpens That's probably where this is gonna be won or lost, and the bullpens, I don't really think either one's great, but that's just gonna be where the variance lies, probably like last night. Plus 130 Astros. Why not? Especially, again, given that we got the win. Fanning them last night. I love bouncing back on the other side and seeing if we can get a winner today. Another night game for you here, Cubs and the Braves. Chris Sale against Jameson Taillon, and that's where this matchup is going to be won or lost. Now, first off, folks, the model I want to point out does like the Braves offense more than the Cubs offense. How valid is that? It's tough to say. The Braves have had such a weird season, but part of that was some injuries. Part of it is let's just check in here on the last 30 days. The Braves 15 and 13 in their last 30 days. Is that anything to write home about? No, but it's not like it's better than they were playing the rest of the season, right? Given some of their struggles. And so the team's been performing, we've been backing them a lot this last month, and it's been mostly working out for us because they're being treated like a terrible team. And really, they're probably as good as some of these fringe playoff contenders. They just had a rough enough early part of the season where everyone got down on them given the high expectations. The Cubs, meanwhile, in their last 30 days, 15 and 14. So it's not like they're lighting the world on fire. And so when I see something like that, because again, that kind of matters a little bit more here in September. It's not like either team's doing anything great. And so we then have to focus in, well, what's different today than any other day? Well, and that'll be the starting pitchers. And that's really the bottom line here, folks. Chris Sale at a 65 grade is one of the top starters in baseball. He was fantastic last year, ever since really coming back with the Braves here. He's been really good when able to be healthy. And Jameson Taillon right around league average. And so to me, that's why the Braves are big favorites in this game. But I think if you removed some of the early season wins and losses and you just took these teams as they are today, I think if it wasn't for some of that, oh, the Braves aren't in it and the Cubs need it for the playoffs or whatever kind of logic is happening here, I think this price would be a lot higher on the Braves because that starting pitching mismatch is huge. I reckon the Braves here minus 152. Model says it should be minus 166. Now, that's actually about the same edge as we had on the Astros, even though it's a 14-cent difference because of the fact that those 14 cents, the further out they are worth less with regards to probability in terms of what the actual edge is. Not to say that the 14 cents don't matter to our bankroll because they do. It's from terms of how much of an edge do we have. So two different axes we're looking at here. About the same edge on both. Small, not maybe the biggest edges in the world, but two edges I think are worth attacking that fall squarely into that B grade that we showed earlier in the show, where we're saying these picks are working for the most part. Actually, and if you saw that, a higher number of units so far. Now, there are more B grades than A grades. And it's a little misleading with regards to the ROI, but still very much worth a consideration. And so even though the Braves are a little bit of a chalky favorite here at minus 152, I think that's worth the investment, as this should be in the mid 160s, probably maybe even into the 170s, 180s when you talk about the fact that the books have to add in there now to take their cut. We're getting a lot of value on this, again, I think because of the perception of these teams in reality. Right now, I don't see a ton of difference between the two of them. And when you look at the thing that can be a difference maker in the starting pitching depth that the Cubs have that the Braves don't, that's where the Braves have the huge edge there with Sale. So that's why we're backing them. So thanks for watching here. Again, another free pick available on Patreon. You can support the show with joining the student section, $4.99 a month. No extra perks there, but just if you're interested in supporting the show, keeping the lights on, keeping the shows coming, we appreciate you signing up there. But if you're interested in getting everything that I can offer you, $19.99 a month, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I already teased it earlier. I do want to mention about life, just a quick little life update, a little life outside the lines here. Many of you are, of course, aware that our youngest Hudson has a ultra rare genetic condition, and things are up and down with him. They've been up and down with him. I kind of mentioned this in our college football preview show. We've taken a lot of steps forward and a lot of steps back. Unfortunately, there are some fears that he may never be able to eat real food. I'm not sure his gut's going to be able to handle it. That there are some fears he might not ever verbally communicate. He's very far behind already there. I don't know how likely these things are. I don't think anybody really does. That's the problem when you have a genetic condition with fewer than 100 cases in the literature at this point, and many of those are more severe cases, thankfully, than what we're dealing with Hudson. But it is still very severe in what it has done to him and what it has done to me and my ability to be consistent with producing this show. And so hopefully be able to get back here, try not to overcommit. For a while there, I was trying to do too much, and it really wore me down. And that's why you saw last year the shows really dwindle in terms of the ability for me to do them until this summer when it completely just kind of cut off and there, and we didn't do a single show in May, June, or July until we got back into college football. So we're rebuilding, we're revamping, we're trying to take everything that we know has worked, that you have liked, and incorporate it, and try to take the things that haven't and not. If some of that means it's not exactly what you were hoping for, we apologize. We are interested in comments and suggestions if they're helpful and constructive, of course, but we're trying to see how we can make something sustainable. We had sustainability, and then when we decided to move across the country, and then we were presented with this challenge, it really just took the floor out from under me. And so this summer's really been about rebuilding that. And thankfully, we've been consistently still able to give out winning picks for all of our supporters who've been subscribed to us for some time. Many of you very loyal. And so we really appreciate your support. Again, there's more ways to support there. And hopefully, again, we can make this a near daily thing here every morning, get a couple baseball picks, and just kind of remind people some things that are important in life, some little ways to become a smarter, better. I've got some ideas, hopefully, that we'll share about how do we survive the ups and downs of sports betting, all sorts of things that we've all gone through. So I have a lot of great plans and a lot of great ideas, and now it's just about hopefully the ability, the energy to execute amidst the personal situations that are going on. So we appreciate all the thoughts and prayers that everyone's had for our little guy, and there is some great progress being made. He's crawling around now, finally. Unfortunately, to some extent, one of those age appropriate things. We're so excited that he's crawling, but he's gotten so fast now, and what he's getting into makes life a little challenging. And he's able to stand up with assistance on the couch, and so we're hopeful that he'll walk one day. He's approaching 2 years old at this point, and so maybe there's still hope that he'll walk, and there's still hope that he can mostly live a normal life. But there's just so much uncertainty right now, so many therapies, so many appointments, so many things happening with him that make life a little harder. So again, love and thank all of you for your support through all of this. It doesn't feel like it. Honestly, it doesn't feel like every day is better than the last. Every day isn't better than the last. When you look at the progress that we've been able to make, that I've been able to make, that this household's been able to make, that he's been able to make, you know, over the long run, it is more ups than downs. And that's the story that we tell here anyway with sports betting, that we don't have a winning week every week, unfortunately. But when you look at the bigger picture, there's more ups than downs. And that's really all it's about in life. That's really all it's about here with the model, and my ability to keep it running at top form is just, we had a good Monday. If you're with us over on Patreon, didn't have a good Tuesday, but we just zoom out there and say there's more ups than downs. And that's also why we're thankful that we have all those other great handicappers over there with us in Discord, because they've been crushing the WNBA. So a lot of great things happening all around. And again, we thank you for being here. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back hopefully again tomorrow with some more baseball picks. Thursday slate a little bit lighter, so not sure how that'll go, but hopefully we'll be able to find something for you. If not, then hopefully we'll be back on Friday. No promises, unfortunately, with life, because something's always coming up. One morning recently, I got woken up by Mrs. Professor, who said that Hudson's button had come out for his G-tube, and she had to take him to the emergency room. It's not a fun way to get woken up. So you never really know what's going to happen, but hopefully we'll be back later this week with more baseball picks. And as always, remind you, it's about the right mindset and the right model. As long as you got both of those, you're going to lose a lot of bets. You can win more when you win than you lose when you lose, and that's what it's all about.